morning. This is Chris, keeping it real. How you doing? On my way to work. Really thinking hard now about how much longer it's going to be appropriate for me to go to work of any kind. I've done so many videos and uploaded so few because I listen to them again and I realize I ramble on so much. But let's just stick to some hard facts today. There are as of yesterday morning, April 6th, 2020, there were 37 confirmed cases of coronavirus in Granville County, which means if you listen to the experts in the field, like Dr. John Campbell, there are actually 370 cases. So let's just for the sake of, me not having to do a bunch of complicated math and whip out my calculator, let's just say there's 400 cases as of yesterday. And let's just say, which is probably not too far off the mark, might be an aggressive number, but let's just say that, just again for the sake of ease of calculation, that the number of cases double every 3.5 days, which means it quadruples once a week. And so that might be a bit high of a number, or it might be not a bit high of a number. Nobody knows yet because nobody has any really good stats. But what I think it's okay to assume a slightly more worst case scenario and be pleasantly surprised than assume a slightly better case scenario and be dead. And that's really the way it works out, right? If not you, then someone you love, someone older than you. You want to take care of them. You don't want to unnecessarily expose older people to this virus because they are mostly the ones who are going and being admitted to the hospital. And basically, if you go to the hospital and you don't get better and you get put on a ventilator, you don't survive. And so the whole thing about not having ventilators, to me, is a complete side issue. Once you go on a ventilator, your chances are awful. So, 400 cases yesterday, 400 real cases yesterday. If that quadruples every week, because this is an exponential function, right? If it doubles every 3.5 days, it's quadrupling every week. So next Monday there will be 1,600 cases. And 2 weeks from yesterday, there will be 6,400 cases. At that point, that is 10% of the population of the entire county, which means 1 out of every 10 people that you see has it. Now, whether they're out and about, who knows? But do you want to take a 10% chance of getting this virus when you can take a 0% chance and stay home? And so Lee and I have been talking about it, and that's what we're going to do. And basically, I'm going to work the rest of the week because by next Monday, there's only 2.5% chance of seeing somebody, which is still pretty, And you can still practice social distancing and things like that. Oh my goodness, I just cannot get this thing to work. You can do that, and of course I've been doing that since like 3 or 4 weeks ago because I don't want to get sick because I'm older, Lee's older. We don't. Why take a chance? On the other hand, we need money, so we're balancing those things. And right now, I'm in the middle of a couple jobs that don't require me to be in contact with anybody but the homeowner, and maybe possibly a trip to Lowe's every now and then. And of course, they've got up their sneeze guards. Well, that's what they look like. But I have not noticed anyone coughing or hacking or anything like that out in public, and so that's good. Now, I realize, of course, that the disease is transmissible 3 days before symptoms appear. But I think this is the kind. Well, and the thing is, I saw a report last night from John Campbell that 50% of people don't ever really develop symptoms. Like they might have a bad day and then they get over it. I mean, not a bad day, like, oh, there might be something wrong, but I'm still feeling okay, you know what I mean? Or nothing at all. Which is another reason why you have to be careful and practice safe social distancing. But to me, that 10% figure is kind of like the magic number that says, we really just don't need to go out at all. And of course, if we follow the trajectory doubling or quadrupling every week. That is doubling every 3.5 days. That means that 3 weeks from yesterday, there will be 25,000 cases. And 4 weeks from yesterday, potentially the whole county is infected, plus 40,000. Right? And so we're looking at it, right. Now, I don't know that, it could be that there are a lot of people like me who are like, okay, we're not going to go out either. And so hopefully what happens is the spread is, they just keep talking about flattening out the curve. I would just rather it be over, actually. But knowing people are going to die from it, that's kind of a harsh way to look at it. Unless there's, well, the whole thing is, right? The whole thing is at some point, people are going to have to go, they're going to have to go back to work. And if this virus thing isn't over, everybody's not just going to stay home. There's going to be a certain limit to what people are willing to do. And so I just don't, I think it's one of those things that pretty much everyone has got to get it. And the only way you're going to be able to avoid it is if you stay home until they develop a vaccine, which they haven't developed a vaccine for the previous iteration of this virus. And so, that was 15 years ago, 17 years ago now, 18 years ago, 2002, 2003, SARS, remember that? They never did come up with a vaccine for that. They being the scientific establishment or healthcare professionals or whatever. So, yeah. So that's all I really got. I'm gonna track. If it looks like the curve is flat, I might work a little bit next week, but that would really be about it. I'm not going to take on any jobs in any kind of populated area after Friday. If it's something I can go do by myself and I don't have to interact with another human being, that's good. That's what I'll do that. But other than that, I'm not going to take a chance. So that's where we stand today on this is April 7th. But like I said, this is these figures were from yesterday. I'll do a video every other day, and we will be able to track the progress of this disease. One of the things that skews what I'm talking about is that we have a rather large federal correctional facility in Butner, and so some of those people are in prison, and so it's not quite as bad as it might first appear. But when you're talking about the exponential growth of wherever the virus is, then it might make a week's difference. It might be 5 weeks out before the whole county's infected, or theoretically could be infected, is what I'm really trying to say. All right. Okay, questions or comments, leave them in the section below. Where's the camera? Like and subscribe. We appreciate when you do. See you on the next one. Stay safe out there. Or don't go out there. How about that?